Hi there, how's it going? I'm Chris Graham from British racing website GG.CO.UK. With me today is Aaron Hamilton from racingbase.com.au and Ross Clark also from GG.CO.UK. So we've got a mix of Australian and British knowledge here. So obviously let's talk about the Melbourne Cup. It's coming up, Aaron, the Melbourne Cup. You're the Australian here. Just tell us how big the Melbourne Cup is in Australia. How big are you to racing fans and citizens generally?
Yeah, look, we're getting close now. In terms of size, you know, everyone would know that the Melbourne Cup is called the race that stops the nation, and it's that for a reason that pretty much the entire nation stop and watch the race, whether you're at work or school even. Everyone stops and watch the Melbourne Cup. So it's an important race for us. There's big prize money on offer, so a lot of overseas interest, and that's why we're combining. You guys can give your expert opinions for the internationals, and
absolutely,
I'll give my thoughts on the locals.
Domestic. So we've seen European horses come over there and win in the last couple of years. Cross counter last year, so there's still this rivalry, isn't it? You love beating English horses.
Yeah, I think we've resigned to the fact we're not going to at this stage. Yeah. We know that the internationals are superior stayers. We sort of have pride ourselves on the sprinters for quite some time, so the staying ranks are, yours are far stronger. But that doesn't make finding the winner any easier. Being an Australian, you've got to decipher that UK form, so hoping you guys can give us a bit of insight.
Ross, it's great beating Aussies at anything, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a rivalry, you know, that stood the test of time in whatever sport you care to mention.
Absolutely.
And now, the good thing, and now though, the good thing is, 200 years ago we used to send Australia our worst, now we're sending them our best, and they can't quite deal with it. So that's basically what's going to happen again this year. 34 European horses are coming over to Australia for the Spring Carnival. We're now even going to try one of our top sprinters out there. 10 Sovereigns is going out there. I think he might go for the Everest, some of the other sprint races out there. So we're going to try our arm this year across a wide range of trips, a wide range of courses, and we're hopefully going to beat you in all of them.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the betting then. 40-1 favourite at the moment with British bookmakers. Finch, obviously an Australian horse, Aaron. Khaled Abdullah owned horse, very famous owner in the UK. Won a Group 3 at Rand, went 4th in the race last year. Tell us a wee bit about Finch.
Yeah, Finch is a horse that probably tackled the race too soon last year. Chris Waller and his jockey Q Bowman quite open, stating that whatever he did, he'd improve on. He hadn't acclimatised last year, yet he was still good enough to run 4th last year. So look, he's returned a bit sharper this time around. He surprised in a short trial and was very sharp. His lead-up runs this time have been good. I'd be expecting this horse to improve out of sight, and if he does, that puts him right in contention. Absolutely.
Looking at the European horses, Ross, we've got Marmello at 16-1, Cross Counter, last year's famous winner, at 20-1. Mustajir, of course, won the Ebor at York in August, now under the care of Chris Lees in Australia. Give me your initial thoughts on the European horses that you think will thrive.
Well, it's amazing. Everyone's heard about the kind of football transfer windows.
Yeah.
This is now going on in horse racing, with at least half the horses going out there, maybe staying out in Australia, being prepped by different trainers. So European horses won 5 of the last 9 runnings of the Melbourne Cup. We had the first 3 home last year, all back again this time around. Now we've all heard the phrase, weight stops trains. That's probably got what's going to happen with Cross Counter. He's been given, I've had to get my head around the kilograms and pounds. He's basically, for British viewers, he's been given an extra stone this year, which basically I think puts him out of the race. The interesting one for me from last year, who's back again, is Prince of Arran.
Right, sure.
Finished 3rd last year. His form this year's all been geared around this race again. He's on the same weight as last year, and this time around he won't have to win a prep race 4 or 5 days beforehand to get in. So the prep can't possibly go any smoother this year than this year. So I think if you're looking for one from last year to do it again, I'd go with him.
And in terms of weight compared to last year,
exactly the same weight.
Exactly the same, brilliant. And 33-1 a Prince of Arran to win the Melbourne Cup in the first Tuesday in November. Aaron, have you got a couple of Australian horses or just for us to take?
Yeah, absolutely. You discussed beating the Aussies, that rivalry there, and I think this year, having said earlier that I think your staying ranks are far superior, We've got three I think can really offer a challenge this year. We've got one exciting horse who won the Queensland Derby last year, Mr. Quickie. This horse was phenomenal. His first up run this spring was one of the best lead-up runs I've ever seen. The way this horse got home, he will improve with each run. And to do what he did first up, he's a serious contender. I want to back him in everything he contests up until the Melbourne Cup. Whether he gets the staying trip of 3,200, that's the query with Mr. Quickie. If you're looking for a couple of Aussies that will get the trip, we've got Steel Prince and Surprise Baby. These two come out of a race called the Andrew Ramsden. This race rated extremely high in Australia, ranked 20 lengths above benchmark. I followed that form with a horse called Azuro and tipped him in a 3,200 metre race that he came out and won. He then went to Queensland and won another 3,200 metre race. So he finished 5 or 6 lengths off of these horses. He's franked the form there. His form the previous year in a race called the Sandown Cup behind Yogi, who ran a record time in the race, beating horses like American, who also contested that race. All the form lines stack up for these two horses and this extremely strong race. So both have had a couple of lead-up runs. Well, Surprise Baby has had one lead-up run. One of the biggest bets so far for the Melbourne Cup, $10,000 gone on Surprise Baby at 26 to 1.
Was it yours?
No, I wish it was mine. Look, that punter's looking at a
wise investment.
If he makes the field, he's 42nd in order of entry as we speak now, and we know that he'll be racing tomorrow. So if he makes the field, that 26 to 1 is great odds. If he doesn't, then that punter will be biting some nails for a while. Having said that, Steel Prince, the other one who just edged him out in the Andrew Ramsden, he's qualified. He gained automatic start with that win. He gets down, right down the weights, 52 kilos or 52 and a half, I think he's on. He's perfectly weighted. I think he's the horse to be following. We know he'll stay the trip, so that's the one thing that Mr. Quickie doesn't have. So at this early stage, I would be with Steel Prince.
Steel Prince, nice one. Steel Prince, the Australian pick for Aaron Hamilton. Ross Clark, give us your European, British, Irish pick.
It's
take on Steel Prince.
It's a British pick, trained in England by Richard Haddon. For those people who are British and watching this video, when Aaron talks about 3,200 metres, that's 2 miles is the equivalent for us Brits. Just so we get the metric imperial quota just right. And so this horse is Raymond Tusk. He ran in the Ebor last time, which us Brits are trying to frame around the Ebor, around the Melbourne Cup, yeah. So it's 600,000 to the winner, obviously peanuts compared to what they're racing for in Australia, but they're trying to create a group environment in a handicap, which is very rare in Britain. This horse finished 4th behind Mustajir in the Ebor, and Mustajir is also coming out to Australia. I think Lloyd Williams, who's famous Australian associated with the race, has got some shares in him. But Raymond Tusk had 0 luck in running in that race, finished 4th, full of running. Handicap mark was not affected by it. Clearly the best horse, well for me clearly the best horse in the race, didn't win, and so I'll take him. I think he's currently 25 to 1. With British bookies he's probably quite a bit bigger out in Australia, so I'll take him to provide a bit of a shot.
Does he have a turn of foot?
Good turn of foot. He's won over multiple distances. He's been competing in group races, so he's got a touch of class, a touch of speed, and that's exactly what you need, I think, to win the Melbourne Cup.
It is.
Absolutely. So the UK view, Raymond Tusk for Ross, and it's Steel Prince for Aaron, the Australian view, which should be a fantastic Melbourne Cup 2019, the first Tuesday in November, and here at GG.CO.UK and racingbase.com.au. We're really looking forward to it. I hope you are too.